we did a double take when we first saw the ad you just watched there, the one where a liberal advocacy group is targeting Colorado's Republican Senator Cory Gardner as a possible swing vote against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. We assumed he was an automatic yes, but the ACLU is spending $1 million on that ad to convince him. And it led Gardner's team to come out publicly today and basically say, no. He's definitely still on board. The ACLU's turned up the heat on Gardner in person as well. The group coordinated a meeting today between the senator and 16 activists and assault survivors. Gardner's team declined to get into specifics about that meeting, but they did reiterate Gardner has been supportive of Kavanaugh's nomination ever since July. And just as Gardner hasn't shown any signs of ever being a no vote on Kavanaugh, nothing's ever suggested that Colorado's Democratic Senator Michael Bennet will waver in his vote against the confirmation. This is the season when all kinds of advocacy groups are giving candidates grades, signals to like-minded voters that candidate Jane Smith, she's like you and me because she's got an A rating from the avocado enthusiasts of America. No group's grades gets more attention than the NRA, the National Rifle Association, which is weird because the grades can be a little tricky to find. The NRA mails out a list of grades to its members. Everyone else has to go hunting, so to speak. The NRA's Victory Fund website doesn't list out Colorado's national and state delegations and their challengers. You have to input an address inside each district. If you have that kind of time on your hands, and trust me, we do, you quickly determine a trend. Republican candidates for Congress in Colorado get A's. Democrats get F's. Except Democratic Secretary of State candidate Jenna Griswold. She gets a question mark. It's her first run for office. And we saw Republican Congressman Ken Buck got an A- instead of an A. If you want to see the grades for all the candidates in Colorado's 17 state Senate and 65 state House districts that are up for grabs, well, then you would need to find and input an address for each district. Ain't nobody got time for that. The NRA told us the reason that these grades are not easily accessible in list form to the general public is because they're put together for NRA members. That makes sense. We asked him how Congressman Buck, super conservative, got dropped all the way down to an A- instead of an A. They didn't get back to us on that. Walker Stapleton's first campaign ad in the race for governor is out, and he's pivoting away from his steady attacks on Jared Polis to present his own vision. No, I'm kidding. The ad is all about Polis. Stapleton starts with a claim that suggests that he has not been watching Marshall Zellinger's previous truth tests.
I'm Walker Stapleton. Jared Polis wants government to take over health care. He'd have to double income taxes, and that wouldn't even be enough to pay for it.
Hang on, I've heard this before, because I already truth tested it when the Rata California ad made similar claims almost 2 months ago. Yes, Polis supports government-funded health care. No, the bill he supports would not double our income taxes. The study that stat comes from is based on a similar bill, just not the one Polis has his name on. The bill Polis supports would fund Medicare for all by using current federal health care money, higher taxes on high earners, not everyone, and a tax on stock transactions.
And Polis's energy plan is really a giant energy tax that would raise prices on almost everything else.
The ad bases this claim off a study from Denver's Independence Institute that figured it would cost $45 billion forcing energy companies to be renewable by 2040. Polis's energy plan is really just a goal. On Twitter, right after that study came out, he said, mandating renewable energy by 2040 is simply not part of my plan to help us reach 100% renewable energy by 2040. By the way, did you know Colorado law does have a mandate? We require Xcel and Black Hills Energy to be 30% renewable by 2020. The end of the ad says with higher energy prices, clothes and groceries would cost more, and that's an economic argument, but I don't have enough information today to be able to say that's true or false of a Polis energy policy, which, by the way, while I was researching today, Kyle, I came across this paragraph of how he worked across the aisle with a guy named Representative Frank Gosar from Arizona. Well, first of all, if that sounds familiar, kind of. There's no Frank Gosar. There's a Frank Azar from Colorado. There's a Paul Gosar from Arizona running for re-election. And if the name sounds familiar, it's because he's the guy that had 6 of his siblings come out with a political ad saying, "Don't vote for our brother." So, across the aisle. Yay.
That's the most brutal ad I've seen in so long. All the siblings are just like, yeah, don't vote for our brother. Both Jared Polis and Walker Stapleton have siblings. Let's hope everybody gets along. Yeah. Thank you, Marshall. Coloradans have been getting confusing messages telling them to register to vote. The thing is, they're already registered to vote. You get that, you look at it, you kind of panic, you know? Well, the Deputy Secretary of State who oversees elections, she's ticked. Suzanne Steyer told the group Be Registered to put some more thought into where they're sending these mailers. Steyer wrote, quote, confusing voters is a problem any time of the year. When it happens just before a major federal election, it's unacceptable. A reminder, you can always check the state of your voter registration or register to vote at govotecolorado.com. There's a bunch of very smart people from across the world who are getting together for a 3-day conference in our backyard to talk about mental health, social justice, and overall healthier communities. So we asked about their mental health concerns and what they want us to know.
Mental health is both the absence of mental illness, but also the presence of social and emotional well-being.
When we think about promoting mental health, we think about promoting resilience.
So it's a sense that you can cope with challenges, that you have the ability to deal with stressors in your life. My name is Ashley Brooks Russell. I'm an assistant professor at the Colorado School of Public Health at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus.
I'm Jen Leiferman from the Colorado School of Public Health, and I'm the director of the Population Mental Health and Wellbeing Program. The biggest challenge facing the mental health field in Colorado is the shortage of mental health specialists.
I do worry about our young people today, though, because they're also faced with new challenges with the way social media is part of their life, and their social challenges, I think, are different than prior generations.
Right, we're starting to think about with our own programming at an early age, even in preschools, to be thoughtful of social emotional growth. What are those competencies, those skills that kids need to navigate the world?
In public health, what we do is we think beyond an individual in need and think about communities in need.
We know that the more connected people feel, the stronger and better mental health they will have.
This isn't a taboo topic. It's something we all face. We've all been stressed. We've all felt down and needed help coping. So I think it's being not afraid to ask someone how they're doing and listen to them, and then be accepting when people tell you they need help.
All those experts are in town for the conference at the CU Anschutz campus. Runs through this weekend. When the temperatures drop, it's easy to lose sight of how dry it has been in Colorado for months now. And looking at the newly updated drought monitor report out today, for most of our state, the danger remains even as we get cooler. Northeast Colorado's doing okay. We're just abnormally dry here in the Denver area. It is the western and southwest parts of the state that continue to weather under what they describe as extreme to exceptional drought. We're going to see a series of storms that move across the state and bring rain to a lot of these areas, but the bottom line is a week of scattered showers are not going to make a dent in the drought. We're talking about needing better conditions over the winter and a spring of snowstorms before we make a dramatic improvement. So all of that is what got us thinking seriously this Thursday. Here's what got us talking and laughing together.
On this Throwback Thursday, which I cringe to acknowledge is also National Taco Day, the Rockies got us thinking about campy old ads with this Cargo classic.
Hey, I got your tacos right here.
Cargo's not the only local athlete to star in an awesomely cringeworthy old ad.
Yo tengo tacos.
Hey Eddie, I got the royal treatment.
My all-time favorite is ex-Bronco Eddie Royal showing the least amount of enthusiasm possible.
Give me the royal treatment.
We shared those when we were off and running on social media, remembering Rod Smith's Blackjack Pizza ads in those bootleg generic jerseys. And back when the Nuggets Birdman was pitching mattresses.
Take it from me, the Birdman. Getting a good night's sleep at Mattress King is a slam dunk every time.
Uma hamburguesa de queso triple.
Who remembers multilingual Dikembe Mutombo pitching his Jumbo Mutombo meal in 5 languages?
Uma bebida copo medio. Pour $2.99.
Those are our favorite, awesomely cringeworthy old ads featuring Colorado athletes. What did we forget? Email next at 9news.com or use the hashtag HeyNext, because it's fun to laugh at old videos of people who are awkward on TV. Or should I say, Rockvember first. Toll on US 36 can't be right, right? Because that would be bonkers. A beer bet on baseball that is not what it seems. And college students aim to get high in careers in aviation.
The pay at major airlines right now is very high, and so you're making an investment into your career.
It's almost like a religion of thought.
Leave shadows on the clouds.
Look to the heavens, lines in the sky that captivate conspiracy theorists. Chemtrails, followers convinced something evil and secret is going on.
I can hear you now. Why are we wasting time on this? Social media has become fertilizer for this conspiracy. Recent surveys indicate 1 in 5 Americans believe in this theory.
So I could see a line in the sky.
Yes,
right
2 of them.
Right
yeah.
now.
They do tend to put them in front of the sun, which makes sense if they're trying to block sunlight.
What do you think is going on up there?
Well, what they say is that this is sort of a desperate measure to counteract global warming.
Zadnik is quick to say he doesn't trust the government. Can you blame the guy? After all, our government doesn't really have the greatest track record when it comes to telling the truth. Agent Orange, the Tuskegee syphilis study, the human plutonium injection experiments. I can go on and on. That's the government. But what about science?
What is that white line in the sky behind a plane?
Well, the white line behind a jet is a natural process that goes on with the relationship between the aerodynamics of the aircraft and the atmosphere.
They won't even say that word. Scientifically, they're called condensation trails. Contrails for short.
So what you're really doing is you're sort of artificially generating a cloud.
So what we see up there is not the government intentionally putting chemicals into the sky for geoengineering.
No.
There's no accepted scientific evidence whatsoever that proves a covert program is real. Based on our highly credible experts and scientific approach to chemtrails, we can verify the chemtrail conspiracy is false.
No more. It's none of my business.
No more. I'm sure they'll work it out.
No more. It only happened once.
No more. He said he was sorry. No more. Why doesn't she just leave?
No more. Not my problem.
No more, but he has such a bright future.
No more. He didn't mean it.
No more bystanding. No more ignorance. No more excuses.
No more.
Get insider info and everything you need to know about what's going on in Broncos country. Watch the Broncos Huddle Wednesday nights at 6:30 on 9 News.
The Rockies-Brewers series is inspiring some friendly bets between good old mom-and-pop businesses in each city. You know, it's the kind of thing that always gets lapped up by the local TV news. For instance, Colorado's Coors Brewing has a beer bet with Milwaukee's Miller Brewing. Oh, that's good fun. Wait now, aren't they both just part of the same enormous multinational beer conglomerate? How are they going to spin that? Oh, here's how they're going to spin it right here. Can we get some corporate-sounding press release reading music, please? While Miller Brewing and Coors Brewing work together to provide the most refreshing beer to fans everywhere, there's nothing wrong with a little friendly rivalry, especially when the fans are the true winners. That's seriously the worst one that we've ever had. That's the worst one ever. Okay, it's a sign. Let's do the sign now instead. Let's cleanse our palates with this. It is a sign that Colorado's express toll lanes are out of control expensive. Are you kidding me? $40 to go down US 36? Actually, this is a sign that typos don't just happen on our news program. CDOT makes mistakes as well. The sign spotted by Beth on 36 near Superior today should not have read $40.70. Makes sense, though, if you go to do the dollar sign and shift happens, or actually shift doesn't happen, and you just hit the 4. That's what happened there. We were wondering about the highest toll ever between Denver and Boulder on 36, and CDOT said one time it got up to $2.55.
No typos with the temperature today, a 20-degree drop from yesterday's high of 86 into the mid-60s, and the cloud deck just beautiful at sunrise and sunset. And the showers tonight are moving out, only to return tomorrow. Another day expected with temperatures below the average of 72. A lot of tropical moisture feeding in from the southwest, but it's the cold snap, the cold air kind of breaking loose from the north that slid south across the Front Range that brought in snow above timberline today, and a few showers, a lot of wind, and a little bit of thunder and lightning, even a little bit of hail and a severe thunderstorm up near Steamboat. We'll see the skies clear tonight. Clouds increase west of the Continental Divide tomorrow. Showers return to the mountains and then to the urban corridor late in the day and into the evening. But this evening, it's just kind of cool, windy, and dry. Our low at 49. Tomorrow, we've got a partly sunny day, high 65 with evening showers. We get you into the weekend with cooler weather and a rain-snow mix possible Monday night into Tuesday morning, with forecast highs next week in the 40s and 50s.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, what do you say? Let's play What Do You Say? This time we are going to head to the southwestern part of our state. It's the largest wilderness area in Colorado. Starts with the W. A bunch of you asked about this one. John, Terry, Shannon, Greg all wanted to know how to pronounce this southern Ute word. So we called up the good folks at the San Juan National Forest and asked, what do you say?
It's the Wiminooch Wilderness. People butcher it in all sorts of interesting ways, but, you know, Wymanooch, Wiminuche, Wimaniche, whatever, I don't know. It's Wiminooch.
Whatever, I don't know. Wiminooch, there it is, north of Pagosa Springs. Half of those nearly 500,000 beautiful acres sit in the San Juan National Forest, other half in the Rio Grande National Forest. We will continue to solve your pronunciation debates. If you have a river, a town, a street, a city, a wilderness, you've always wondered how to pronounce it, you hear it two different ways, email us next@9news.com or get our attention with the hashtag HeyNext.
Convincing young Coloradans they have what it takes to fly.
The pilot you know you're going to be is going to start coming out of you.
And this sure beats the morning announcements at your kid's school. Next.
I know people don't always believe this, but I'm allowed to speak my mind on this show, and I'm allowed to showcase your thoughtful perspectives, even if the bosses don't agree with them. That really does happen here. That's the strength of Next. It's important to hear things that we disagree with because, lo and behold, we might change our minds. We also want Next to be a reflection of you watching at home. You're smart, funny, and you're unapologetically honest, even when it gets you in trouble. And that's what we hope that the show is as well.
Latina for me means family.
Being Latino to me means having pride in my heritage.
It means being part of a community where you're never alone. Being Latina is being strong and independent.
Being Latino is really everything to me.
It's who I am.
Being Latina to me means that I can achieve whatever I want.
What Latina means to me is being bold.
It's being creative, innovative, resourceful.
Being Latina means celebrating life in a unique way.
Get to know the Johnsons 5 nights a week.
How about I give you $100?
No, 200. And you agree not to have any more children.
Okay, that's a decision I have. No.
A traditional family.
I'm here to help.
You're not Mom.
Where's Mom?
And an unconventional comedy.
I think you look good for your age, Dad.
40's not bad, right?
You're only 40? Good Lord, you've lived a hard life.
Weekdays starting at 5 p.m. on Channel 20.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
There have been frightening things in the news lately, familiar things for many Coloradans. Check in with your family and friends. If you or someone you know needs mental health support or emotional help, it's available right this second. A real person ready to provide real problem solving. Call or text Colorado Crisis Services. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.
Don't take your health for granted. Get in-depth medical information that your doctor can trust at a fraction of the price. No appointment needed. Choose from new screenings including heart health and blood type. Own your health. Find your fair at 9healthfair.org.
May I make a recommendation? Point you towards something that did not come from us, but is certainly worth your time. So you could drive the 6.5 hours to Mesa Verde. You should do it sometime. But now, anytime, thanks to the nonprofit SciArc, you can get this unique view of the national park right from your phone. This is a 3D video of the cliff dwelling at Balcony House. That particular site dates to the 13th century. It's so fragile that visitor access is limited these days, but you can see it in 3D through this video. It is a trip. You can check it out on the next Facebook page. It is also a long haul from here to the Colorado Northwestern Community College in Rangeley, next to the Utah border, about a 5-hour drive from Denver on a good day. That far-flung campus has a partnership with Metro State University of Denver. Our Byron Reed shows us how it's helping some aviation students save on gas, and it's preparing pilots here on the Front Range.
But if you're applying for a job with your resume,
Brandon Hockaday is getting ready.
Just put them at the bottom in a simple list.
He's drawing up a plan to become a commercial pilot after graduation.
As I have known, I've wanted to go to the airlines basically from the start. All right, here we go.
Hockaday is a senior at Metro State University of Denver, finishing up his bachelor's degree in aviation and aerospace science. He's part of a program that partners MSU Denver with Colorado Northwestern Community College in Rangeley, Colorado.
It's in the very northwest corner of Colorado, almost on the Utah border.
Wow. The goal, to lower tuition costs and flight requirements.
That's when I started to pursue my first degree as a aviation technology associates at Colorado Northwestern.
Now, both schools are expanding the program to this side of the divide. They'll have a new facility in the Front Range Airport. The move gives more access to aircraft and flight instructors to MSU Denver students.
CNCC is very much catered to the flying side, and then this partnerships allow us to come back down here, continue that bachelor's degree, which is what most major airlines are looking for.
The FAA recently increased requirements to 1,500 hours of flight experience to get a transport airline license. This program will reduce those hours by 250 by having students make up that time as flight instructors.
Right now, the industry is going to be going through a huge pilot shortage, and if you can manage to make the investment into your flight training and make the investment to come back down here to MSU Denver, you will have a payoff of dividends.
Making it easier for future pilots like Brandon to head for a career in the clouds. For Next,
there you go.
I'm Byron Reed.
This thing is happening. The lease on the site was signed Monday. School's now ready to match flight instructors with current aviation students. Tonight we remember a woman we could not forget after the time that she appeared on Next. Riley Ginsburg worked in the Gifted and Talented Department at Denver Public Schools, worked there for 48 years. We met her last year when she was still helping out on Wednesdays at the age of 100. Riley Ginsburg passed away on Monday.
You're too fast,
she was
Riley.
102.
Yeah,
she was mother to 5, grandmother to 12, great-grandmother to 21. As you witnessed, she lived life with energy and with humor. We were fortunate to meet her. Our thoughts are with her friends and family.
Stop.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The Broncos Huddle. Wednesday nights at 6:30 on 9 News.
Okay, no problem. Everybody follow me.
Get ready for a gnarly ride. This dude rips.
I am Jacques Huot. They call me Frenchy. I am 41 years old. Each leg, equal 82.
82 years old. Jacques keeps moving. Sure, he can ride, but his charisma is what got the attention of Carbondale filmmaker Michelle Smith.
Oh, I love Michelle. Too bad she's married.
5 Point Film Festival's Night of Stoke is the kind of evening you rock Chacos instead of heels. Jacques,
the love of your life.
Michelle, and Jacques' new friend are in the house for a screening of Michelle's film, The French, a tale too big for one person to tell.
You know, you meet somebody like that, and it's like, I'm not afraid to get old.
For that, I'm glad I motivate people to keep moving.
Team Challenge is the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America's endurance training and fundraising program. When you join, you'll help fund cures for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. With our half-marathon training program, you'll train with experienced coaches for over 16 weeks to run or walk a half-marathon at an exciting destination race, including Chicago, Napa, Nashville, Lisbon, Las Vegas, and others. Choose your challenge. Teams forming now.
Don't use the H word.
The H word now has taken on a meaning where we don't need a label. We just need to be seen as for who we are and what we do and what we're capable of.
For me, the word handicap feels more like it applies to things rather than people.
Don't use the H word.
This public service announcement brought to you by the Denver Commission for People with Disabilities, one of the mayor's commissions under the Agency for Human Rights and Community Partnerships.
The most Colorado thing we saw today is Pagosa Springs Elementary School finding a way to keep their students interested in the Pledge of Allegiance. First off, take them outside. They all love that. Then have them look up. Hey, is that Captain America? That's fantastic. They're going to want to do it like that every single day. All right, we finished with your feedback, looking for the most awesomely cringeworthy ads starring local Colorado athletes over the years. Chris says there was one with Lewis and Florax from the radio and Larry Walker and some Broncos and Nuggets. Carrie says there was one with John Elway skiing in his limo for Copper Mountain. And I hear Shannon Sharp once dressed as an onion. You got to send these to me, people. See you next time. Subscribe to the Next YouTube channel for the best of Next and some other stuff.